Alright, here we are. Welcome to Roll for That.
Thank you. I feel welcome.
We all put on our best smiles.
And our best clothes.
Yeah,
We all got
nice
kind of
clothes
nice.
today.
Yeah. We're dressed up for you.
It wasn't coincidence.
Yeah, this definitely isn't something I wear all the time.
No.
It's button up, it's nice.
Alright. Let's do a quick recap of last time, 2 weeks ago. Where did we start? We had just finished talking to the cat. It started off with you guys so last week it started off with you guys just going to the bar, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! We're
Going
starting
to-
an insurrection.
Yes.
I tried to jump you and your drunk friends, and it didn't turn out very well for me.
I think it turned out great though.
Yeah.
I think we gave our friend Kane Stoutfish. That's
Oh,
a name I have written down that it says guard written next to it.
I have Wolf.
I
Wolf
have-
is the leader.
Wolf Bodwin.
All right.
Starred.
I think that was. I don't
He's
know who it is.
he's your first friend.
And these
there
are
were
other
3
people.
other
Wolf is the
friends.
main one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who. It doesn't matter. Regardless,
Stout.
we can resolve that off camera maybe.
Yeah, I'm suddenly not sure who Stoutfish was either.
It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
we've got Wolf. My friend Wolf.
He cut me good.
Yeah, he cut you pretty okay. And
I was bloody.
I'm hoping to get this this
Um,
pot of animosity simmering.
if you don't have it written, oh, just kidding. I have Booth Wilton is. Like, sorry, I was like, maybe he's the acolyte.
Oh, I do have that.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Nope. I'm not sure who I told you Stoutfish was.
maybe I made him up and just like wrote him down just so that I could remember for a game that I might run
That's true
someday.
too.
And I'm bad at taking notes, so
That's cute though.
I think everyone is.
Is anybody good at taking notes?
I get too into the game and not pay attention to my clerical duties.
writing
Yeah.
notes takes me out of the game like
Yeah.
a lot.
I can
Anyway,
Depends what
I
it
can
is.
look at notes. I just can't write them. So
Well,
if I
also-
already had them, it
Traveled back to the wagon that we are pretty sure is the acolyte's brother's wagon and killed some
Spine devils.
devil thingies.
Spine devils?
after we made friends with a local flock of corvids,
of course.
the
The usual. Who needs to track things?
Also, I know that the paintings from this wagon, which I gave to be sold, were sold to a knight who was doing stuff in the sewers.
Yes.
So if I want to try to look at them or get them back. Also, it was really cute when the acolyte tried to come with us because he thought that's what we asked.
Mm-hmm. Also, it was not
That's
it was
what we meant.
also it was not cute when we realized that we misunderstood when or whether or not he actually wanted any of the paintings back. Because I understood his words to mean, I guess it would be nice, but I already have this one and like my memories of him. But apparently he
It could go
actually
either way.
he maybe actually meant that yes, I would like something for closure, maybe. So there's always that.
Yeah.
I never claimed to be a smart man. Well, at least Cirrus never claimed to be a smart man.
A wise man.
He's also not very wise. In fact, he's not really good at anything except for
What is this?
except for a whole bunch of dexterity things.
Hey, me too.
And
Look at you
also
dexterity
lying.
people.
I'm
He's
not
also very good
dexterous.
at lying. But anyway.
No, didn't matter.
But yeah, we killed some spine devils, and then we found a whole bunch of identifying pieces amongst the carnaged bodies, and we're like,
Which
hopefully,
we are taking back.
and hopefully, these will identify if he got killed by, or the brother got killed.
Also, a skull with gold fillings,
Yes.
which I have put into my bag.
You kept this. Oh man, I really hope we don't go through everything and be like,
So this is
Also
everything we
found
got.
this skull.
And he goes, oh no, none of this was his. Well, what about this skull? Oh no, this dental work matches his perfectly.
I can tell from here.
You guys, I've been thinking about that for weeks now. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna recognize him by his dental work.
I hope not. I hope he's just got a necklace or a ring.
No, my
Or
brother
a
had those gold in his
Or maybe the sword.
coat of arms.
In that exact spot on his, it is now.
I chipped that tooth when we got in a fight as kids.
Hey.
Oh no, that was a knife accident.
Here you go.
Here's his skull.
Here's a dad's skull.
Well,
You can put it on
Remember
your
him by.
mantle. He can watch over you always.
Yeah. That'd be really creepy.
Good stuff, but
Yeah.
that's where we are.
yup.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we be at.
We also took some identifying pieces of Spine Devils for a reward, hopefully. We're gonna have to make a nice persona for that.
True.
That's
Because
not my
I
job.
yeah, well, that's my job.
Exactly.
I'm the man of a million faces.
And I'm not. So it's not my job.
Although,
See?
you're pretty good at makeup.
I'm pretty okay at makeup, and I'm also pretty good at lying, but I'm not better than you at lying yet. It's gonna be another couple levels before my double proficiency catches up to your monstrous charisma score.
Gonna be over here being awkward.
What a mood.
The huge. No, just kidding.
Yeah. What
As
do
a bird person, that's kind of common.
yeah, most bird people I know are weird.
In fact, all the bird people I know are weird.
Hey.
Perfect. Well, there we are. You did receive that sword. It was a short sword. Is the
A
one
short
thing.
sword. Okay.
Yeah, so it was a short sword that you found. That in rusted scabbard there was a perfectly nice short sword. But I believe that at this point you were just going to be heading back to the town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first day goes uneventful. You pass a couple guards. You do pass one of the guards. One of the patrols of guards where he's wearing a. You recognize him as being a highly ranked officer because he's actually riding on a giant lion. This looks like a saber-toothed lion
Woo-hoo-hoo.
with kind of reddish color, and he's wearing the blue. But he just kind of nods to you as you are passing on.
A single guard? Or
There's a most of the. So typically there is more than one. At
Mhm.
least they generally go in at least groups of 4.
Okay.
There is 4 in this group.
So, my plan is when we see the first guard, basically point in that direction to where we found them and then present the spines. You guys have any complaints?
No.
Well, I
Because
mean,
as we see him off in the distance, I'm gonna become somebody else, basically.
Yeah, you can tell it's a guard pretty early on.
if you're gonna talk to one of these guys, I'm gonna go hide in the bushes.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Because,
And you can hide too if you'd like.
In fact, I might even
Why
get
do I
my
need
bow
to
ready
hide?
and hide in the bushes,
Huh?
just in
Why do I need
case.
to help?
Okay, so you're gonna back me up? Okay.
Okay.
I become a very well-dressed adventurer. Like, nice, high-end, like, scuffed armor. Like, I haven't had time to polish it, but, like, plate mail and stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, as, like... And then I get all the
Jaw and
spines.
cheekbones that you could cut yourself on.
Yeah, like,
And
I'm a good-looking adventurer.
muscles. Yeah.
Not too big, but, like... I'm
He
definitely
carries
adding...
himself.
Yeah.
He carries himself well.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we get the spines ready and the heads.
And you're there too, right? Like, and you're holding them out? Or?
I have them ready, like kind of bundled up, and like, hail! Like,
They start going. I mean, they're already going in your direction
Yeah.
because it's a road, but they go a little more pointedly towards you instead of just
yeah,
on the
just,
side of
Kind
the
of
road.
past you.
Yeah.
yeah.
They start going more towards you, and the one in front on the giant lion says, "Hail, traveler!"
I motion to like a bundle of spines and like the random head and tails I have of the things. I'm like, I warn you, there are spine devils in these hills. And I pull out a stick and I start drawing in the sand. I'm drawing like a map to where they were.
Why don't you roll? I want to see how good this looks.
Like a survival check or something?
Yeah.
So that is one of my
Survival
wanderer feats.
Oh.
Is I have a great memory for
Yeah.
maps and geography.
You're an outlander.
Okay, so that's fair.
Do you want just advantage for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, go ahead and roll.
Survival?
Yeah.
It's maybe just because you have a good memory. doesn't mean
22.
you're good at drawing.
Yeah, and it's in the dirt. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. 22.
22.
You draw basically a really good map.
Yeah.
Like it's hard because you run into a couple of rocks that made a jagged line here and there or something, but
Yeah.
it's a real passable dirt map.
Oh yeah.
You get the gist.
Oh yeah, the guy
I love a
the
great
guy is
storyteller.
watching you do it the whole time, just like, wow, we'd seen the wagon, but we didn't know what caused it. We were just coming to look into it a little bit further. Says, this will help greatly.
Yes. I don't know what you do with these heads and spines. I was bringing them back as proof that there were there. We dealt with a couple of them, as you kind of see by recent wounds.
Take them to one of the administrator's offices in, he kind of,
Tanatra?
Tanatra.
well, I'm not saying where there, I mean,
Oh.
in the first octave, octant. And they'll be able to assist you. Any of the administrating buildings will do. Just take that with you. They have some minor rewards for those types of things.
Again, we kind of routed a bunch of them. I don't know how many there were, but my friend and I, we...
There were a few of them that got away after we killed a few.
The guy pats this large, just broadsword and says, "We'll take care of it."
Thank you. Do you know what pieces they need? I don't want to have to carry more of this cursed stuff than I have to.
They typically pay for heads.
Okay. I probably burn the spines. Like, do the spines burn?
He gestures to the spines and says, "Those can be bought at. I know that people have sold them at curiosity stands, and I've seen some blacksmiths dabble in creating weapons from them, but I've never seen conventional.
I probably won't worry too much about those. Thank you for your time.
They make good handles, though."
I wonder how good they would be for.
Or darts.
Thank you. Safe travels.
He nods and continues. All four of these men are on horseback, and three of them are on horseback. One of them is on lion back,
Right.
but they just kind of trot past you, heading down the road where you guys just came from.
Yeah. So I bundle it all back up and.
When they're out of sight, I come out of the bushes with my bow strung, and I haven't pulled it back, but you know. They gone?
Yeah. And yeah. I'm gonna walk in this character for a little bit and then I'll let it fade.
As you're walking,
Yeah.
it just kind of slowly fades away with
I
each
just
step.
pat Cirrus on the arm and I'm like, the blue guys aren't bad.
So we can get a reward at the administrative building, so maybe I'll stop by and do that on our way into town.
Yeah, may as well, I guess. Okay, so this wasn't a colossal.
You guys will be coming into town this way.
We'll
This
have
is
to
the
go.
octant that you guys are going. This is the one octant. So
Gotcha.
Where the Greylocks live.
yes, they are in the administration area.
Neato.
And then, yeah.
Alright, let's get going.
Yeah, you guys continue. You don't run into any more problems. First night, no problem. You do pass occasional other guards as well, but only that first one had one of the high-ranking guards.
Oh,
In the But you guys do see Tanatra coming into view again, with the beach just, or not the beach, but the ocean just past it.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's just a normal kind of foot travel day. When you guys get to the front doors, the guards do the same routine the first time. A little bit less extensive, though. They don't ask too much about merchants' gear this time as much.
Do I pretend to be your brother again?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you
I
want.
think it was a cup.
Yeah, I'll take on that same persona, whatever it was.
Yeah, the one that made him sad? Or was it made her
No,
sad?
we made her look like the cousin that made him sad, and I
There
just
we go.
looked
You look like you were
like him.
related to him.
Yeah. I just took prominent features from him and added it to myself, basically.
Perfect.
Right. Yes. Now I Paxton remember what we were talking about.
But you guys get to town. Do you remember where you were supposed to meet our good friend, the acolyte?
Me, the person? No. I'm sure my character remembers.
I'm sure you remember. If I, the DM, remember.
Though, actually, with my 10 intelligence score,
He might have the same memory as you. I'm not. Or the same as me. I don't know.
I think he's got worse memory than either of us.
I don't think we set up a time to like meet back with him because we didn't know how long it would take there and back. And he told us to contact him through Rolf, the
That's what I was
bard
thinking
guy.
too. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
seems reasonable.
Perfect. So,
Sorry.
are you guys just heading straight to the primary inn?
That's where
I'll go to
I
the
will
administrative
go.
thing if you guys want to do that. I'll pick up our brief reward, our little reward.
Okay, I can talk to Rolf.
Okay.
Perfect. We'll go from there. You're going to the administration building.
Yeah. So I take on the same persona of what I did at the guard, except for without all the armor on. So it's a lot less.
fancy.
Yeah, I'm like just in traveler's clothes.
I give you all of my spines except for one.
So they pay for heads.
I know.
Okay.
I'll take the spines.
Yeah, I was just
correction,
gonna-
I give my spines to Sirius except
Yeah.
for one,
You can have my
like
spines
smaller,
too.
like
Nice.
chipped section
Okay.
of it that I keep.
I'm sure that one of them like hit a rock or something, chipped,
Yeah.
but yeah, most of them are at least my
Forearm.
at least my full
That sounds
arm
about
here length.
A bunch of spines.
Might not be quite arrow length. I'm not sure. Some of them are probably right about arrow length, but
So-
some of them aren't.
I had 4.
I give
She
you
had
8. 7. I give you 7 because I keep one
Okay.
that
So that's
was
11.
broken.
Oh man, that means that I can't just write a bunch of.
A bunch of.
Yeah, so I'll go drop off the heads, and I'm gonna take the tails I have because
Makes sense.
it's proof.
That makes perfect
Somewhat.
sense. Yeah, you get there. In the first administration building that you walk into, it looks like there's most buildings. It seems like have a spattering between as far as administration go. But the one who's actually waiting for you is wearing red.
Okay.
You walk in. He says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
One of the patrol guards told me to come down here for a small reward, and I pull out the heads and like reach back in for the tails. There was a couple miscreants out on the roads that I sent him after, actually, but I was able to finish these off before they took too much out of me.
He nods, looks at him, like squints at the face a little bit, shuffles through some papers, comes back to you, pulls out some coins, and puts down 4 copper. He says, not copper, silver.
Okay.
Puts
I was
down,
like,
puts down 4 silver, and says 2 silver ahead.
Thank you. I assume you know what to do with the tails. I wasn't sure if I could burn them or not.
I can dispose of them if you wish.
If you would, I don't have much room to carry them.
He nods, and he just takes them behind the table where he's sitting, along with the heads.
They've just got a basket of monster parts in the middle of this like secretary's office.
that's great.
You saw a list of things that he had, like the list that he had nicknames. It looked like mostly for devils on the price sheet, basically had behind. So he has a lot of devil parts behind the counter, not so much just random monsters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I take it after no question. I walk out.
You did see a head of this devil that had like all these weird barbed beard things coming off its face too.
Ew.
Yeah, I walk out. I was like, it's a strange experience. Never have I entered into a city where they just pay you for devil parts.
You have. You just didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I definitely have. Okay.
Moving on to you guys. You guys go in, and typically speaking, Rolf or someone in his always. Right now, it looks like his wife Shalantha is in the back practicing on a harp or on a half harp. As you walk in, she doesn't really say anything. She just continues practicing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I go and I just kind of sit down near, kind of next to, across from ish, you know.
Does your character have any music experience? Or
I can crow like a bird.
Not,
but I don't
not
think that
technically.
counts.
My character kind of hums along if it's something that's like a common song, but
You notice a couple of lines from some common songs, but it doesn't sound like she's playing through any song. And that's all that your character would. After going through it's probably only about a minute or two of you guys walking in. She opens her eyes, looks over at you if you're closer, but he looks over at the two of you and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
We went and looked into
Rolf's
helping
friend.
Rolf's friend, the acolyte.
Luth.
Luth. Oh, Rolf mentioned that. He did say that when you guys get into town, you can go to the cathedral and just ask for him, and he will come out and speak with you out in the court.
Okay.
All right.
I
hate giving bad news. I'm not a bad news person.
He did recommend that
I can go give the bad news.
Might be a good
but
idea.
I may not be the best person.
You guys should be okay to go undisguised if you want, or if you feel more comfortable disguised, then you should still be okay. But that's just up to you. If you want help, I can help you with some makeup.
I can do some makeup if we want to do. We probably dither about this until he shows up. I think
I come walking in.
that's kind of the direction I'm leaning in. Right?
Okay.
I flip you each a silver coin.
Of course.
Ching, ching.
Not a big reward, but yeah, and I keep 2 for myself.
That's fair. We made you go deliver them.
I'm not going to tell you about them.
I know.
Perfect. I'm making money.
You're welcome.
1 silver piece at a time.
It's like, so what's the plan? Where are we meeting him?
The cathedral.
Oh.
Do you want to do disguises or not? I don't think we did disguises when we first met him.
Yeah.
I don't really want to
we
confuse
didn't.
him.
Yeah, I'm fine meeting him, but we should probably pull those teeth out before we show him a skull.
Wait, there were teeth in the skull?
It's the gold teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'm not robbing a... Oh, why are...
We're looking for... It's identifying pieces.
It's identifiable.
Then why would you want to pull the teeth out?
Well, I don't want to...
Doesn't that make it less identifiable?
Do you want to show him this?
No, but I also don't want to steal gold out of the mouth of a dead person.
There was gold in the teeth, but on the teeth, by the way. Not necessarily.
not golden
fillings.
tooth, yeah.
It's not worth anything. It's not worth stealing from the dead.
We're not
golly.
stealing it.
I want to know if he can identify him off of his...
I guess we're just taking the skull.
But then
it's
why
fine.
would we
Put it
take
back
the
in my
teeth?
bag.
I don't understand.
Because
I'm
maybe
so
his
confused.
brother has dental work that he knows about.
But aren't the teeth more useful in the context of a face even then? Like, we can't just hand someone a tooth and be like, is this your brother?
We're taking the skull, it's fine.
We just have to preface it a
I
lot.
like that one.
You know,
Is this tooth your brother's?
am I crazy? Am I?
But is it easier to show a tooth or this guy who freaked out a skull? And if we ask if it's his brother and he's like, I have no idea, I'm like, okay, here's some teeth.
But neither of those are useful. But the skull is more useful than just teeth
Okay.
out of context, isn't it?
So keep the skull hidden for last.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay in my bag unless I get the.
And then we give it a proper burial this
Go.
time.
By the way, it's probably like a little afternoon, like 1-ish or so. FYI, just FYI.
Thanks. And we're having this whole conversation
Yeah.
in front of Shalantha.
Oh yeah.
And-
Oh yeah.
It seems that Shalantha's doing her best to ignore you and is doing more things with the half harp.
So we'll show him the necklaces, we'll show him the rings, and we'll show him the coat of arms.
It seemed like a personal conversation.
Yeah, the rings, the necklace, and the red cloak thing.
The coat of arms. And then we just ask
Well,
him.
it's a shredded cloak that has a coat of arms on it.
Yes.
So
Yes. And then we just
very
ask him
specific.
if his brother had a lot of gold dental work, and if he says no, we just leave the skull out of it. Sound
Yeah.
good?
Let's just not even mention the skull unless everything else fails.
Yes.
There we go.
There was a skull.
It's like, yeah, we saw this. And I'll lie all about the skull. Let me get a good couple looks at this real quick. Okay.
Why are you touching it? Stop touching it.
What's wrong with it? I don't understand.
She's like, we crows like to eat corpses all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a plan. You ready to go meet this guy? You have the
Yeah, let me put on my game face.
Yeah, so are we giving him the rings? And I pull out like this skeleton hand.
Wait.
So I think I just took the whole hand, you guys.
not just like
Cirrus-
finger bones.
Just
No, I took the whole hand.
Cirrus dies and becomes a little chibi ghost that will
That's what
follow
I
you for
wrote
the
down.
rest
I
of
wrote
his-
down I have 3 rings and 1 hand.
3 rings on one. It is still a hand.
Yeah, I take the rings off.
It's really gross. Like it's bloating around the rings at this
Oh.
point.
I'm like,
This is why we don't let scavenger birds like collect the. I
Don't understand. This is fine.
It's a little. I mean, it's just a little bloated. You put it into a bag of
that
holding,
smells so bad.
so you know, it didn't get much worse in the bag of holding. It just kind of was as bad as, like, only slightly worse than when she put it in there.
all the rings are from one hand.
All the rings were on one hand.
So I just grabbed the whole hand.
The
Like,
necklaces
was that-
came from multiple places,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure you
So
found
was
the
that-
rings.
Was the
Wrong?
hand already like detached from other things?
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
Yeah,
At
it was
least you didn't,
already.
like,
It was just like the hand that
pull
was.
his arm off when you.
No.
How does
Like,
Can I cut like the fingers off in the bag of holding and then just grab the rings off them? Like is that sanitary?
It looks like it was a bit
No.
like there, and so there's just like a hand that you guys found with.
I don't know how we're gonna remove these bloated finger rings, and I don't really want to touch his hand.
Here, I'll do
probably
it.
get.
Give me your.
No, she just like bites the fingers off because she's a crow. And
My character might throw up at that.
I
not
need
doing that.
your knife.
You're not using
Or
my
at
Oh,
least
knife.
she didn't say.
I'm going to materialize a freaking mind blade and just chop the fingers off. And
Well, that's what I was.
just like on the table.
That's what I was gonna do.
My character walks to the privy and
Oh, come on. You're
Yeah.
from freaking Monster Hunter Society.
yeah.
Can't take a little bit of dismemberment of a corpse.
Nope. Most of the undead things I deal with are vampires.
I don't deal with undead things. These are gross and squishy, but oh gosh.
You succeed at getting the rings off the head.
Yeah. And I have cleared my stomach of my rations.
During this part of your guys' little
I use some like
experience,
spare
Shalantha does
random
just walk
cloth to
away.
like.
After you brought out the hand, Shalantha just walked.
I bring out like a hanky and clean off the rings. There.
Well, they're nice
That's
and
better.
clean now.
Sorry, guys.
And then I wrap up the hand. Put it back in my bag.
Why? Why?
She's saving it for later.
What else am I supposed to do with it? Do you want me just to leave it here on
Or
the
to put it in
table?
the garbage.
We should.
Is
Oh,
there
we should go
garbage can?
stick
Like,
that
what
in
do
a
I
priest's
do with
mailbox.
This is just becoming like a trail of bad jokes.
I am not okay with this.
Me neither.
Okay. Everything's clean. Let's get out of here. Let's go visit Luth.
Yeah,
You guys go.
Let's go to a place that is sacred to people and show them a dismembered hand and a bunch of teeth.
I thought we weren't going to show him the dismembered hand because we took the rings off of it now.
You're right.
You
Let's
got
go.
them in your pockets, right?
The fingers? Yeah, I'm saving them for later.
No, she.
No, I put those back in my bag of holding.
Yeah, but the rings.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got
So that's
I've
anyway.
got those on my fingers.
We have a George Lucas style screen wipe, and we are suddenly in front of the cathedral, and
I walk into the first guard station,
Yeah, you walk into the front door.
and I'm like, "Is Luth, Wilton here?"
The man nods and says, "Is there any specific business you need him for, or just
Yes, we come.
visiting?"
We come bearing news of his brother. If you can we speak with him?
Yes, one moment, I'll go get him. And the man walks away. Not too long later, Luth comes out of one of those side doors by that one, and comes out and says, "Oh, good, come on, let's go out here,
Okay.
yes, let's.
and takes you outside, back out to the courtyard, and finds a nice bench in a shadowy area, and says, "Okay, what did you find?"
We found the wagon again.
I can't look.
Okay.
It's okay. All right, where's my score? Yes.
We were unable to find the paintings. At this time, they were gone. We were able to follow a trail to a something not so good. And we're not sure if your brother is dead or not, but be prepared that he is. We have a couple identifying features, jewelry and such that may have belonged to your brother. And so if you'll please look at these real quick. We show the rings and necklace.
Are you holding like all of the rings and necklaces like in a pile just like this?
I mean, I probably have the rings in this hand and the necklaces on this hand.
It's like dangling. Yes.
Yeah.
He glances, like, kind of goes the way you would
I've
read,
like put my hand like kind of on his back, sort of like.
hovering, ready, or actually on his back already.
I think
The
it's
light.
it's just kind of like kind of on his shoulder, just like.
He looks at all the rings and just shakes his head at the rings, looks at the necklaces and sees one of them, and you see him just kind of start to tear up. The one on. He reaches for one of them. He doesn't take the other one.
Okay.
And he takes it and holds it, and you see him tearing up, and he holds it close, and he says, "This was his."
And from there, I just slide my hand around, just all the way around to give him a nice awkward side hug.
He holds it. Would have been nice to have those paintings as well, but this'll do. And he holds it a little tighter to himself.
It may not be a consolation to you, but we were able to find some city guards, and the beast that did this will be hunted.
They were beasts. Oh no.
We,
He was attacked by devils on the road.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes. We killed as many as we personally could, but again, we are not. That's not my forte. I'm not a devil hunter.
Let's pause for just a second.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that, everyone.
Devil
Where-
hunters.
We were in the middle of consoling a very sad
Oh
man.
yes, he's very.
And thankfully we did not have to get out the hand nor the skull to make him this sad. And now we're caught up.
Oh no, devils! That's where we were at.
Yeah.
Oh no. I had heard rumors that more devil sightings had been around lately, but I hadn't heard of any deaths yet.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing me this news. Now, he looks around and says, actually, let's walk a little further. And he starts walking and is walking towards the fourth octant. And you start going in towards, there's general merchants in the area.
Yeah.
And as you are walking, he says, now, Rolf mentioned that there was a favor of me, specifically mentioned the artifact. Now, I have only a general inkling of what's going on with this, but you're looking to get your hands on it. Is that right?
I do a real big, check the area, You wearing a
The
wire?
less you know, the better.
Well, it's good I know as much as I do. You'll need one of the priests to get it.
That is good to know.
Or I should be able to do it. I'm not a full priest yet. I should be able to help with that portion.
How much of a risk would that be to you, though? Don't want you to.
It's a great risk.
Oh, lovely.
If I or you, for that matter, were caught, then I would surely have this punishment, which would likely be death or imprisonment for any number.
That's cheery.
Makes sense.
Well, that's why we're not going to get caught.
I know very little of what's actually in that room, but I've assisted once or twice now with getting people into it. On the second floor, in what's generally the mess hall, at times when they need to get into the treasury, 4 people have to be in a circle that's in the floor to activate a teleporter to the treasury. One of them does have to be, one of them has to be a follower, a believer, to be able to activate. And then the 4th person, and the 5th person would need to be in the center to be teleported to. I don't know anything about what's inside. I only know that that's how we get the priests there, and we do have to stay there for a full 5 minutes.
Do the priests come back through the teleporter while you're still standing?
He nods.
So only one person has to be. Do the other 4 have to, or do the other 3 have to hold magic of any kind, or?
I don't know. I haven't tested it without other acolytes or other. I know that at least one person needs or an acolyte. I honestly, for all I know, it might need to be a priest, but I think I can do it. He at this point seems to have gotten himself a little more composed again. He looks around and says, I've worked with Rolf before. He's helped me a great deal. This is the least I can do. But I would appreciate it if I'm not mentioned ever.
Okay.
Other than when I do it.
If you wish it, we can entirely forget your except, of course, that you're welcome to ask us if you at least me, certain.
He nods and says, for Rolf and for what you have done, I am willing to do this, or at least do what I can here. Once it's done, it may be best that we don't know.
Fair enough.
He says, I know that that's where they keep it. I don't know if it's required for the 5 minutes to wait if you keep the artifact. With the way the artifact works, I'm not certain it's required to wait the full time, but it might be. There may be some fail-safes. I don't know anything about the actual treasury.
The hell?
The only people who are allowed into the treasury typically are the high priests of each the high priests of each cathedral. So there's only 2 people in the cathedral who've been there.
Okay. Good information.
When the time is right, let me know. I can work with you and do what I can. So then I don't know if I'll be much help of anything. But when that time comes, someone to help with the teleportation circle, I can see. That's the only way I know to get in there. Contact me if you need to before then. Let me know. If you have more questions that I can answer, I can try. But I don't know if I'll be able to answer. I haven't been there. I'm one of the new acolytes.
Gives us a lot to think.
You mentioned that you're still new. I do wonder though, have you ever heard the name Duval? Garraway Duval. I think I heard that he was ascending in the priest. Maybe not.
I can't say as I've heard the... But I don't know all the high priests. I know the names of the circle of the high priest, but it's not that.
Mm-hmm. He's not that high up nor is he low.
No, haven't heard. I apologize. Do you know him?
I owe him something.
I can help you more, but I don't recognize that name.
Alright.
Anything else? Or anything I can do? Or should I just wait for your call?
I would just wait. Do you have a way to contact Roll?
I know where you were staying. Or where Rolf's staying. Other than that, I just go there, or he finds a way to get in. There's coming and talking.
Alright, in order to keep our faces from being, or from recurring too much.
He nods and says, okay. Well, I'll await your call, or at least further information. And he says, and he just kind of stops and waves and then starts turning back to...
A lot more magic than I was thinking. Makes sense that they would use their holy magic.
Yeah, well, that's how it runs around here. The church uses lots of magic to protect themselves and, you know, lets a little bit of it benefit the populace. Every now and then, when it's convenient.
Okay. Well, I'll report back to Merrick, see, pass on this information.
Mm-hmm.
Or does Rolf already pass on this information?
I don't know if you've shared this information. Please?
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Might
the
not have shared it
meantime, we've got some,
Urgents?
oh, I was just gonna say, some things that took off of the victims of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
I mean, I'm all for letting the bird keep her shinies if that's what we want to do.
I mean, it's fair.
Let's
I don't want those
That's-
rings.
let's go back to the inn.
I don't want nothing to do with those rings.
Not until they've been washed, at least.
I mean, I wiped them down.
Going back to the inn, really quick, everyone roll actually a.
We should figure out what that sword's doing.
Or what is everyone's passive perception? Is a better question.
15.
16.
Probably like 11, I think. That seems about right for me. Yeah.
Winnie,
Oh no,
you-
it's 14.
you thought you recognized someone from in a crowd when you passed. Are you like just kind of out of the corner of your eye? Are you gonna look into it or just kind of?
I'll kind of look and
It's a
see.
dumb question. I should probably just assume if I bring something up here.
Yeah.
You
See if I
turn-
can get a better glance at him.
Yeah, so you turn to see. With that, looking over there, you feel like you recognize someone. There's a tiefling in the crowd over there that you think you recognize. It looks like one of the people that was in trials, but not one of the winners. Like not one of the people who ended
like,
up
got
joining
in.
Merrick, but one of the people from the trials for sure.
From tryouts.
You roll
Is he?
for- it's
Do I
definitely
make
a
eye
she.
contact with them?
No,
or-
you don't make eye contact, or at least you look at them, but they haven't. They're not looking at you.
Okay. I kind of know which direction they're going. Say something, guys, and ask for a little buggy. Break off and go.
Bye.
Yeah, they're at one of the merchant stalls at the
Okay.
or that person.
Yeah, I'll wait for him to explain it after she explains it to him.
But yeah, you're pretty sure. And you're going over there. Is that what you said? What is
no,
your?
I'm gonna break off from them and go to get like hide in an alleyway and when everybody's looking.
She's gonna
for-
Spider-Man.
And then smile at them.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna let you guys just go back to the inn, was the right?
Mm.
So you guys start heading back to the inn.
Though if she tells us anything like, there's somebody here, I need to check him out.
Yeah,
Then-
I would have been like, hey, I think I recognize somebody from this place that shouldn't be here.
Oh.
I'm gonna go check and see if it's just a winky dink or.
So probably don't go back to the end.
So this one's gonna last for 2 hours.
Okay. Is it a telepathic thingy or do I have to actually
It's
speak?
telepathic for a
Okay.
range of like a mile.
So you turn into a bird, and this makes it relatively easy for you to fly at this point.
Yeah.
Don't even think you need to stealth. You're just a bird in the courtyard. So you fly back over towards that, and it doesn't take you long to find who you're looking for. Now that you're a bird, getting a little bit closer, a different view, you can definitely tell that this was.
The drunk tieflings.
No, it's not one of the drunk tieflings. You recognize. You do recognize her. I don't know if you do. I'm guessing you as a person don't remember her. You might want to roll and see if your character remembered her name.
I don't remember her group as a person.
The 19.
Plus intelligence.
Yeah, plus intelligence. So, you definitely do. You remember a name. Maybe it didn't seem like it was that prominent to you, but you remember the name Zeta.
Okay.
Oh, she was the grumpy
It's
one.
Vita.
She was the grumpy one who didn't make it.
Hmm.
We cut him out.
Tell you and say, oh, I do think that we should split up and one of us should go report to the boss, or do we want to hang out nearby in case? Are any of these vendors have stuff that would be appropriate to just buy and consume kind of in the area?
Yep.
Like,
Plenty of them. So a lot of these ones are kind of put up stand vendors. Or like out of the back of wagon style vendors in this area. Quite a few of them have some sort of. Again, a lot of them are actually have the fish on a stick style thing. Seems to be pretty popular around this area. The pokey on the skewer pokey. So instead of it being actual kebabs, it's just a bunch of pokey bites.
Yum.
We don't have to go back to report.
I tried. Pick up a couple of those and hand one to you while we talk.
Let me try to reach Corin real quick. I pull out my book out. Corin. Zeta, the grumpy tiefling, is in town. Please tell Merrick.
Yeah, so as soon as you send that, shortly after you get a reply of, yes, I will. What is she wearing?
I don't see her right now. Let me get that information for you. We have her. Talia's keeping an eye on.
So you asked me and then I asked you.
Telephone.
He's asking what she's wearing.
Oh. What is Zeta wearing right now? And not in a creepy way, mind you. It's just...
Maybe in a creepy way.
But this is a question from Corin.
Awkward more than creepy.
What is he? He's trying to make sure we're keeping up our practice. Or maybe he just is neurodiverse and likes to know details about things.
Look at her and give him a description.
She's basically wearing traveler's clothes with some leather. Like some leather armor style stuff on, but mostly kind of traveler's clothes.
Lots of browns. She's got some leather on her.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Corin replies again shortly later, because how does the link work? Or do you have to reply to him
It's like a
one more
sending
time?
spell.
Okay, so
it
you
does
can't
what
reply
sending does.
until after reply to him one more time?
So yeah, when I'll write to him, then it'll...
And then he can say one thing back.
And then I'll write to
you
him.
can say one thing back. Okay, just wanted to make sure. In that case, once you tell him, then Corin says, Merrick wants you to keep an eye on her. Report where she's staying and who she talks to, if possible.
How many people were in her group?
I think she had 2 people with her.
2 people with her was correct. So there's 3 total in that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep you updated. Or yeah, I just write. We'll keep you updated. Merrick knows.
Send it on back. Merrick has been updated. He wants us to track her back, figure out where she's staying, who she's with, whether they have plans for something. You know, make sure they don't get in the way or try to, get in the way.
I can only follow her in bird form for an hour.
We can do pickups and
Yeah,
pass off
we can
between-
switch around. Especially this guy can switch around with himself. Like, whatever. We don't.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway,
Mask of many faces.
right now what she's still doing is speaking with, just with some general...
She's not like speaking, things can't work.
No, it looks like she's just getting some items. And she kind of is just going from place to place. Shortly after that, she does meet up with, you recognize a half-orc. She walks up to a half-orc. You remember that.
I let them know. Met up with rupees to have guy and with him.
And he just kind of, once they meet up, he just walks near her looking basically all he's doing. He didn't really say anything. They saw each other, they nodded, and she just followed her like 5 feet behind.
They're walking in the same direction.
And then they start moving. They're going towards the let's see. Right now you guys are in about the 4th-ish octant. They start moving towards the 5th octant before getting into the 6th octant. And once in the 6th octant, it starts getting too close to where probably only about 20 minutes until you needing. Or not even, it's probably about 10, we're probably about, or whatever alarm, it's probably about 10 minutes until you would need to do something
straining
else.
of magic.
Yeah.
I say something.
Hear me up,
Yep.
and then I'll break off.
3
Pick up.
hours on your piece for you.
So you got an hour left with her,
Mhm.
almost an hour 20.
Yep.
It's
So
like,
at this point, we're probably getting to about nearly 3. Not quite, though. We're getting nearly to about 3.
Mhm.
Anyway, you start heading in the direction that she was last known.
I'll duck in, change my face to like just a kind of a plain looking woman.
Perfect. Once you start getting stranding, you kind of see them. They do go into a building with about 5 minutes left of your spell or your power.
Okay.
And that's where they are currently. You are about getting there.
I'll pass on what building they went to and then tell them I've gotta go.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I love it.
Yep. Sounds good.
What kind of building?
the building itself seems to be some sort of washroom. Is what it looks like when you move into it. But it doesn't really have any advertising. So this octant, the 6th octant, is the very poor area.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. As you get there, they're just they're still in there, but it looks like they're finishing up whatever they're doing in the mushroom.
Yeah.
Geez, I feel like you don't even need to roll stealth. Because you don't.
I might be easily noticed. Why would they?
You're just a random face.
Yeah.
She walks out, and just a little while longer after he walks out behind her, it's pretty obvious watching them that they're together, but you'll admit that if you didn't know they were together, it might not be as obvious. Following them, they continue going down until they get to looks kind of like a it's definitely an inn. And then they walk into the
I will step into the thing, send an update like at this inn, and I change my face and I'll go in as a patron.
Perfect. Walking into the inn, you can tell this place is not in good repair. There's kind of a weird puddle that's just in one of the corners. Just slowly, you hear a little drip coming from it every once in a while. The floors themselves are kind of more of a packed dirt than like an actual stone floor or anything. And all the patrons here, it's kind of a scattering. So some of them look like they haven't eaten in days and are wearing very ragged clothes, while others look like they are wearing moderately nice clothes and have some sort of weapon or equipment. The barkeeper himself, or the innkeeper himself, standing behind a bar, is a wiry man with just this wiry beard hair, like wiry mustache and this long wiry beard. It's not a thick beard, mind you, but like kind of.
Yeah. So this illusion is me as like if I was kind of a poor person, kind of very kind of sickly looking, but I'm acting like I'm just drunk and I'm here to get another drink. And somebody kicked me out somewhere else, and I'm just walking down the street. And like I walk up to him and I'm like,
You're bar hopping at
Yeah.
like 3:30.
I walk up to him and I copper down. I was like, beer, please. And it's like a half copper even.
The guy looks down. Half copper?
Yeah,
Did you
like,
cut it?
I have a cut copper. And I was like,
That's barely enough to get you the drinks. Why are you giving me this? A full copper for a cup.
I spill out like 2 copper. And I'm like, 2 cups. And I like completely forget about the half copper.
He takes all of them. And goes to a big barrel and just starts pouring some out,
Yeah.
and then hands you 2 mugs.
And I walk away with just one of them. Like I forget the other one.
Oh, golly.
Golly jeepers.
Jeepers, mister.
That is the most watered down ale you've ever
Yeah.
had.
No, well, at least I won't get drunk off this. Yeah, and I go and sit by the puddle, leaning against like the wall, just like staring.
You see Zeta and the half-orc sitting at a table together. And it looks like they're having a pretty serious discussion.
I'll let you know real quick. Are they near a wall?
They're pretty close to the fire, so they're near a wall.
I did dictate which wall they're near.
Mm-hmm.
Give you guys just like a little bit of a heads up.
Okay.
And I tell you not to buy the drinks here. It sucks.
Noted. I mean, do they have oyster shots?
They got water.
Didn't ask.
They've got water.
That is the most aled down water you've ever had.
They've got some real yeasty water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see them. You see them discussing. From where you're at right now, you can't really tell what they're talking about, but they are in a bit of a heated discussion.
Is the privy near that? Is there a privy inside?
There's a puddle
For
next
all
to
you know, you're at the privy. It does smell quite awful. Also, most of the corners seem to be maybe a little.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Gross.
I wait till the barkeeper turns his head, and I walk over to the corner nearest them and just start peeing there.
Oh boy.
You can just hear what he's saying from that spot.
Yeah.
Especially with the flow going.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But while you're there briefly, what you hear is he says, "Hate waiting around," and no, direct is always better. And how long do we have to wait in this shithole?
I like to imagine you're like listening to me on the phone and you just hear like the peeing in the background in my brain as I'm like repeating this stuff.
Because you're also like very self-conscious about it. You're peeing in this inn, and so that's slipping into your thoughts that you're transmitting to me.
It's like,
oh, ew.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
like just really awkward for me, and it's really awkward for you now.
If he doesn't have any information by the time he doesn't have any information by tomorrow this time, we're gonna need to do something. And that's where that's pretty much the last you hear from him for a while, and you probably finish it.
Oh yeah, I stumble over to where my second drink would have been, and I assume it's just gone.
It's not there.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just acting drunk, like looking around. Somebody else have a mug?
There's a couple
no.
mugs.
I'm like, I'm just like making eye contact and like, mine? That one mine? That one.
An elf sitting at the bar by where you're at. You see him just slide his drink closer to him and give you a glare.
Must be his. And I just walk out. And I was like, okay, I got that information. Don't know what they're waiting for. I can go back in. I was like, I'm just hanging around by the wall where I said.
Okay. Are we like... I don't know exactly how large this city is.
Large.
Also, I probably regrouped with you.
So if we went back to the primary inn, we would probably be out of...
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, especially because that's nearly opposite. No, it's not quite opposite parts of the city, actually. They're too often away. It's hard to think of how large these are. But,
yeah.
But it would probably be pretty far. The courtyard where the main thing is. Jeez, I'll try to think of size in
I mean, scale is hard to imagine and also communicate.
Yeah,
so
it's a large city though.
Mm.
Even the central area, the central place where the actual cathedral is an extremely large area. It's almost like having Central Park in the middle of it with a cathedral in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So it's a very large area, miles on its own.
Yeah.
If not 2 or 3 or so.
Okay. Yeah, so we're almost certain.
Like, do you want me to go back in?
Write to HQ with whatever info you already have.
Yeah, I'll start.
Best.
You write a novel. I tell Corin, they're at this crap hole inn that I already told you guys about. Talking about, these are the conversation I overheard.
It's the Shattered Ladder.
The Shattered Ladder.
The Shattered Ladder. Oh, I like that.
The worst name ever.
Yeah. Update them. Can I hear anything through the wall?
No, the walls are okay enough to not hear through them.
I'll let you know. That's like decent walls.
Good to know.
Look at the hovel next door. Also decent.
This is probably just decent enough, but especially because it's by the fireplace, This is a little bit better of a wall. Let's see. Or you were writing to Corin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shortly later, Corin responds back and says, Merrick says report. Sounds like they'll be there at least one more day. We can check in on them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sounds good.
He says, I'll send... He says that he'll send... Oh my gosh. He says he'll send Syken to look into it more.
Sounds good. See you soon.
And then are you all heading back to the inn now?
Update you guys.
Yep. Can I tell them where to meet us?
It's probably about...
There's
I mean, it wasn't that long, but we might be looking about 4. Especially after following them through multiple places.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back, it'll probably be really hard to just city. You'll probably be getting back around. Or it is 4:30. Probably about 6. You'll be getting back to the inn.
Okay.
Once you get there, you do see that Corn is at the table. One of the doors is open. The one that Merrick had kind of claimed right before you guys left is open, and you see that place is just full. Like, it's a little disorganized, but it just has like a bunch of papers and like information. Like, there's like tack up on the walls and other that, just with like things in there. The door's open with Merrick in it, with a big table in the center, just like looking at the table. Corin is there, and when you walked in, you saw the Fair and Grey family was playing at the actual primary. Oh, and the whole acrobatic team there. So the beautiful orc and everyone is.
Knock on Mary's door.
He looks over. He had a pretty serious look on his face just a second ago, and as soon as he looked over, he had a big smile. Oh, been waiting for you.
Yes, we got some information for you from Rolf's friend.
Yes, I heard a Zeta.
Oh yes, and
that, yeah.
And tell me a little more. What did? I got the information from Corin, but he's a little direct. Tell me a little more about it.
I noticed her when we were walking back after talking to Rolf's friend Luth, who did give us some good information. Favor. But I noticed she just walked past her. She looked familiar. We kind of broke off, and when we realized who she was, we had that.
Okay.
So, her and that half-orc she was with her at the Shattered Ladder down in Octon 6. Not a great place, but it sounds like they're waiting for something. They're impatient. Well, half-orcs. What was his name?
Argyle?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
You didn't see Elric at all?
No, you said they were waiting on information?
They were waiting
Would
for
they
a man.
maybe be waiting for him?
I'd assume so if they worked together.
He was the halfling that was with them was Elric. He wasn't at the table?
No.
They're doing something. We'll need to keep an eye on them.
Oren said that Syken was gonna go keep an eye on him tonight.
Yeah, I told Syken to go and take a look at that building in general. Look for he said the Shattered Ladder.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that sounds great. Tell me more about about our friend, the contact, the acolyte.
Okay. So Luth Wilton, to get to the magical item, there is a vault where you need at least one believer, if not more, to activate a teleportation portal.
And at least one priest.
Yeah,
You
including
did
at least
mention them
one
separately.
acolyte or maybe.
As soon as you said priest, his face got a little dour, just briefly, he lost his sparkle, and then you saw it, you could tell he forced a smile back on his face.
So clearly you're not a believer. And then it's just a sly smile.
Did you say that?
Yeah. And I give him that sarcastic smile.
No.
Yes. Well, none of
But
us are
besides
either.
that,
And it requires at least 4 people and 5 minutes.
And that's just to teleport one other person.
so 5
I guess
people.
5 people in total if
Yes.
you were
So
transferring
5 people
someone
need to
in.
go in. One person teleports,
Yeah.
and the people in the teleportation circle have to be there 5 minutes.
Yes.
He said that's how they usually do it. He doesn't know if the timing itself is relevant, or if that's just how they, what their standard operating.
Okay. You say anything about if anyone's ever come out with it before?
Yes. He said there's been at least 2 priests who have come out with it. It's only the leaders of the cathedral. I don't know if he's ever seen it though.
Now, I've heard rumors of the treasury, but that it has more than just the item.
Yes. And he doesn't know what's in there.
That he himself is bitten.
Yeah, so it
He
sounds
doesn't
like
know
only
what
the high
lies
priest
on
has
the
been
other
there.
side.
I wonder if I can't talk to some rat.
As long as it's not in a other plane, that's a good
That's
idea.
always the risk.
Fair enough to ask.
But
No
perhaps
reason not to.
perhaps a higher being might know something.
And what do you mean by a higher being? Are you talking about Anactelian himself?
No.
Maybe an angel, or
Are you
I'm
wanting to
talking about
speak
a
to their
being-
angels?
A being made more of flames than matter.
Whatever you're speaking of,
Yes.
feel free to contact them.
I will have to do some meditating.
I have no problem with you contacting any fire beings. But keep it on the down low.
It usually is.
He looks around at a bunch of papers, and you see some of them. It looks like a lot of them like are little notes from people and things. And in a couple places you can see where there's like a pile where he has them specifically together. And one of them, it looks like he has a slightly better drawing of the floor of the cathedral now, where it looks like you can see pretty much what the whole main floor looks like, and he has a drawing for the second floor, but it shows only that there's those balconies that go over the actual well, over the pew. But he's ruffling through some pages, pulls one up and says, here it is. He looks at you guys and he says, I have to look at my name section. Bill left this for me. He says it's an address where if you'd like to, you can speak with the knight that sold the painting.
Oh.
If you want it, you can have it. If you don't, I can get rid of it.
I'm sure it wouldn't hurt for one of your alter egos to talk to the knight.
It really would.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
He hands it over to you. It actually leads to another building in the 6th octant.
Interesting. Is that where
The poor octant, yes.
No, is that where the crushed clam is?
No, the crushed clam is in
It's
the
like
port
in-
dock one. So
Port
it's a little
dock.
different. So it's 1 second. Yeah, but no. Good question, but no, it's not.
I just can't remember. There's a poor district and a poor dock district.
Yeah, so the 7th district is is where the crushed clam.
Okay.
But they both have a similar atmosphere. One just feels like it's dockside, and one feels like it's.
Yeah, one's got that sea breeze.
All the best parts of the sea breeze too.
Yeah. It's something. Sounds like the Salt Lake. When it's rank.
He says, any other information here? We got quite a bit already. You've been very helpful. We know the main floor plans for the bottom. We do know that there's, he says, something we haven't told you guys yet. There's someone coming in to do inspections on the cathedral.
One of ours?
No, one of their higher ups, one of their circle of high priests is coming to actually do a brief inspection.
Do we know when?
Yeah, that's going to be in 2 days' time. He's going to be here doing an inspection on. He's going to be coming with a considerable amount of a considerable retinue. He's going to have quite a few high-ranking officers. Might be best to avoid the building then, or we could try to figure something out with it. But there's going to be a lot more guards that day.
The next question is, how long is he? Don't have that information.
From what I heard, at least today, but I didn't receive an itinerary or.
Probably too risky to try to embed someone into his retinue.
It's something we could consider, but he might know his retinue. And again, I know that he's coming with at least 2 of the highest ranked in their military.
Not ideal.
No. But you should know that. Other than that, any information you get's good. We know that's happening, and we'll keep working on it. Keep getting the plan together. Right now, I'm thinking that in a week's time, at the latest, we might have some beginnings of we might be able to start doing something.
All right, we'll just keep looking for info and trying to build a more complete picture.
He nods. We're looking at it's probably nightfall at this point. What are the plans for? The paper itself does state times go there as well. The times are at it says midnight, and then it says any day midnight.
Want to go visit a knight with me?
It's probably about 8 right.
It took us an hour and a half to walk from the 6th.
That was
to
rush
the
hour.
last time. We're going to the 7th now, right?
Yeah, you're going to the 7th. Well, are you going? I'm assuming you're going there for the tavern, the Broken Clam, or no?
Oh no,
The
sorry.
night's in the 6th.
The night is in the 6th.
The night is in
sorry.
the 6th.
The subject changed a couple of times and I didn't follow it entirely. I'd be down to go. If we
Yes.
Sure.
So tonight's at midnight. Well, a little before. So if you want to take a cat nap now, recommend it. I say cat nap and I look at you.
Because you're a bird.
You're a bird. It's funny when you say cats to bird.
Oh, okay.
Bird.
Yeah, I guess.
She likes cats based on the experience she had with the white or with the
big fluffy yellow
fluffy
tomcat.
yellow tomcat.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, wake me up in, I don't know, 45 minutes or something.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess we'll just cut to when you guys are moving towards that building, I guess.
Yeah.
Or is there anything else that needs to be actually done? Cool.
No, because he's keeping an eye. Sykin's keeping an eye on that.
Sykin's gonna walk.
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna go in a disguise because we might pass. I don't want to be recognized by Zeta.
Zeta.
I don't want to be recognized by Zeta
Yeah.
if they're even keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I can also do some disguises for us if you like.
Yeah.
Want me to roll some disguise kit?
I'm recommending it.
Yeah, go ahead and if you're doing some disguises, roll for it.
So
I mean, roll for it.
Ah.
I apparently need to do better at saying our own name.
You don't have to do the thing, or yeah.
You do.
It's required.
So this will be disguise kit proficiency, and which you want to base it on dexterity or
You can do dexterity or performance.
I like using your charisma to define.
maybe.
Ooh, deception good too.
I mean, I have. So that's 17 plus 3 for proficiency. For dex, I guess.
Sure.
So 23 for me, and for you.
Make me look like a pretty unicorn.
No,
I'm kidding.
don't make her look like a pretty
I
unicorn.
mean, you could even help me with this if you wanted to give me advantage
I
on the
could.
roll.
I'll sit really still.
She's not even
Not be a
fidgeting.
child and be fidgety. I'll be like,
Hints and tips. My performance work better with this kind of
Oh,
makeup.
okay. That's a 26 for hers.
So you guys did really well. Perfect. Well, you guys definitely don't look like your own selves. None of you.
I also changed my clothes.
Okay. Can't wear your nice clothes. Ugh.
Huh.
Yep. So you guys go to the building plan to get there at about midnight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It does take you a second to find it, and when you do, it looks like a little warehouse or like a storage building. When you guys walk in, and you see a man standing in the room, like on some boxes or sitting on some boxes, leaning on them. He turns and his head is just completely bald, with like a little scar on the top of his head a little bit. And a big old bushy just mustache. Just this
Nice.
big old nice thick mustache.
It,
That's great.
He looks over to you and says, "You Bill's friends?"
yes. And Bill's friend.
Nods. Says, "Well, I don't have the paintings with me. My owner requested to speak with you."
All right.
Your owner?
We're speaking.
Master, we are speaking. I'm Master.
And is he here?
I can get you to him.
Before that, I'm gonna pull out the weird signature I traced. That's probably like not that good looking anymore. It's like, is this the signature on those paintings? Do you remember?
He doesn't even look at them and says, "Don't know."
I don't think it hurt.
Paintings aren't my thing.
I think it could hurt quite a lot.
I guess I will speak to your master for a little bit.
I'd better go with you.
It can be good sometimes.
Or rearrange. Have my lantern on its quick release hook.
The guy nods and just starts, he walks over to a big box and just pushes it over. And there's a big old,
There's just a hole in the floor underneath the box.
there's some trap doors just right there that he opens up, like cellar doors. And he just says, "Follow me then." And starts taking steps down the stairs.
Now that I know we're going underground, I hesitate.
Is it lit?
It can be.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
It is only lit around him. So his armor seems to be giving off about 10 feet of light around him.
I like pull out my lantern and I cast light on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
I
like,
guess that works.
yeah, I'm holding it right now as well. I'm kind of like trying to show that like, not just some lab.
He starts walking. And he had already started walking and didn't even look back at you guys, just continued. Grayson sounds like he's following.
Yes.
Is everyone following?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay.
I check for traps before I step down.
I'm just going to follow in the exact footsteps of this other guy.
Fair enough. He's just going down these steps, down and down and down the steps. He just starts walking. It gets down to like this gross underwater cavernous kind of, or underwater, not underwater. Underground with some water like next to it, going through some little cement, almost pipes, just going past.
Lovely.
And it smells awful, just awful.
Is it worse than the hand smelled?
In a different way. This doesn't necessarily smell like death, but it smells like the worst sewer you've been in.
Yeah.
And the whole place is just like, just gross all along the outsides of it. It's obviously most of it is staying in where it's supposed to, but there's definitely like some splashes and splatters every once in a while. It's a good thing you changed your clothes.
Yeah. I'm glad I changed.
He continues walking, and goes across a couple spots where there's like these stone, you could barely call them walkways, like not even 5 feet wide, barely 2 feet. You just can barely walk bridges, and just walks further and further and further into this area. Eventually, the sewer actually ends up. You get to the cavern. He walks through the cavern for a little while. He's been walking for a good chunk of time now. Probably 45 minutes before you get to a door.
I probably have to recast my illusion. So I fall back a ways and...
He gets to the door and he says, now, he turns back to you and says, now no sudden movements. I'm going to say a couple things, or not. We're going to go through some doors, and then you can relax a bit. When you see my master, it's going to be off-putting. But it's okay.
Exactly how off-putting should we be prepared for?
Very.
Delightful.
We're not like
Stay close.
just for this next bit before we can relax.
So we're gonna go through these doors, and he basically goes through the same thing he just did.
Yeah.
These doors, stay close to me. No sudden movements, no loud noises. I'm gonna say some things. We're gonna get through some doors, then you can relax.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm excited.
He nods. He opens the door, and he starts walking down. He opens the door, and there's some stairs right outside of
More
him.
stairs down.
No.
It's not very long. You can
Oh.
see the floor. It's just like a 10-foot maybe, not even that far down, but just like stairs down into this area. As soon as you walk in, you kind of recognize the architecture. It feels a little bit like the architecture that's used in some of the buildings that you've been in when you were exploring in your.
The ancient.
We're gonna meet some.
What?
I don't know what a vampire is.
He.
Lucky.
As soon as he opens the door, you can see in there a little bit. You see some human-shaped people down in there. Roll history or arcana, whichever's highest.
I'm going to waive that.
I got an 18.
Okay. Do you have any proficiency in the one you did it with? No.
13.
Do you have proficiency in it? No. That's fine. I just wanted to.
I am no intelligence, head empty.
You think you recognize them at touch, but all you can remember about them, all you can remember about them is that they are blind, and that they generally attack unprovoked.
Quiet. I don't know if the mic picked up. We have to be very quiet. There we go.
The man walks in and takes 3 steps and says something. Do any of you guys know DH? And says something that you guys do not understand. All of the humanoids take 1 step away from him and then just stop moving. And then he just walks.
Very.
He just
Oh,
walks calmly down the stairs. And I assume you're following?
Yep.
Yes.
Time to go see
No.
the horror of Red Hook.
I have a place.
Yes, we can not go follow.
He walks down the
But now I'm
stairs,
intrigued.
goes around, and you guys walk past probably 4 or 5 of these things have just they're grotesque looking, and their mouths are just kind of like almost slack-jawed with clubs that they're carrying around. You can tell that they probably had eyes at some point, but right now, at this point in their evolutionary stage, apparently they don't. But they all follow you with their eye, like follow your group with their eyes as if they had them.
Delightful.
As you guys get to the gate, or there's another door, large, big wooden door. He puts a key into it, twists it, opens the door, and gestures you inside. He shuts the door behind you and relocks it. He says, "There, that wasn't so hard." In here, you just see all sorts of paintings and sculptures, like in corners and like that.
Fun.
What were those things?
The master calls them grimlocks. Not many do.
They seem like reasonable guard dogs, though.
And as you walk in here, you see that there's just some people in here as well. Like
Oh.
a couple. There's one person that you currently are seeing does have a weapon on them, but is dusting a sculpture.
What kind of weapon?
It looks like a short sword,
Okay.
or maybe a scimitar.
Okay.
But they are currently dusting a statue. They glanced at you when you walked in. Back to dusting. And And he says, right this way, right this way. And he walks a little bit further in, goes left again, and opens a door. And inside, there was just like sculptures and things around here. When he opens this door, you see that it's kind of cluttered with sculptures and pictures, as well as a bunch of bookcases packed full of books. Packed full of books, and sitting inside,
Color me a dream.
like an alley almost, like sitting between two of these bookcases, you see a creature with tentacles coming out of its face.
I knew it. Always see one when there's Grimlocks about.
Oh.
You wouldn't know.
I would know, but I wouldn't.
Your
know.
character wouldn't know.
Serious,
Neither
like,
know. Don't know.
I assume, are you the master?
The thing looks up, and you hear your own voice in your head. Yes.
I can't do the your own voice thing. Excellent. Well, I step aside so that there's room for you guys to step into the room after me.
What
And
are you looking up?
A possible spell.
I do a little.
I probably won't need it, but I just
a
want to
little,
double check something.
just slightly overly polite genuflection. Well, it's great to meet you. How shall I address you for this encounter?
Master is typically best. Your brain can't comprehend.
That's fair.
You all hear this in your own voice,
Hmm.
in your head. As if you're thinking it loudly. Like, as if it's your primary thought, that's what you're
Hmm.
I like this less.
hearing. Oh, no, better. I apologize. You're not hearing your own voice. You're all hearing his voice, right?
Because he. Okay. Say that's not me. By the way.
Yeah, it sounds... So he's speaking out loud, and then you hear an answer in his voice in your head.
Well, hello, Master. You wanted to speak with us?
In Grayson's voice, you hear, yes, I did. I understood you were looking to reacquire some paintings that I had recently collected.
Yes. They might belong to a dead guy and his brother wants.
Brother.
The brother of the painter.
He looks back at you. He looks back at you because you just said yes. He says, brother of the painter. You're speaking of Luth?
Yes?
Yeah.
You don't know.
He knows everything. He's the master of this library.
I don't think that's how that works.
It can. I don't see why it isn't.
I know this art. You hear in your own.
Do you have many of his paintings?
No, I make it my business to know the artists up above. His tentacles splay out in a gesturing motion towards the room around him, full of art.
We see
And
his
books.
hands yet? I'm just curious.
They've been holding a book the whole time.
Okay, that's good.
And none of you would have any experience with. Never mind.
I don't know how much you bought the paintings for. But we don't need both of them. Would you be willing to sell one of them?
I'm not looking to sell either of them. I don't like to let go of my art, but if I received different or better art in return, I would be willing to part.
A trade. But you prefer to only ever trade.
You see his head nod.
Maybe quantity.
No,
Do you,
he said
prefer any
better,
quantity? Like if we gave you like 5 paintings of mediocre? I don't know if I can get 5
You
paintings.
hear in your head, I am aware of the mediocrity of this artist. While I do love to consume all art and the thoughts and imaginations, impressions that come with it with the eye. These are quite common. Most beginning artists could do this. I'm looking for art that has not been seen in years.
You tell. A place where we can sit down. I'm asking either in character or not. Prefer.
There's not really
Okay.
anywhere to sit down.
Sounds good.
Looking around, you don't see
I like
anywhere.
glance around
There
for-
is a bed. If
That
you want
might-
to call it that. It is a bed. But it would be kind of hard to get to it. There's a couple different statues on the way there.
Gotcha.
So, is it a specific painting or is it a statue?
I know of a location where there is likely to be additional art. I would send, and he actually moves his hand for the first time and gestures towards the knight. My knight. But I don't think he can handle it on his own. Ever since the incident, he's had harder times against more than one foe.
The incident?
The being gestures, and then in Whitney's voice, you all hear in the back of his head. I was hungry.
Oh.
We all get a bit peckish sometimes.
While I did restrain myself, it did cause a lack of some function. Quite the interesting reaction.
So what is the painting again? You said you can't fight multiple
Nothing
foes.
specific.
Oh.
Not a specific painting. I know of a location where you're likely to find a number of different pieces that have not been seen in many years. In your time, possibly hunting.
Possibly.
Okay.
Most likely.
I need an art piece, sculpture, painting. He goes through a list of all sorts of different possibilities.
So you're just asking for our assistant acquiring these
Something nice.
objects?
A trade. You acquire it, I will give the art piece.
And we just meet your knight and can trade that way at a later date?
Or the knight can go with you. I don't require his services for another week or so before I'll be hungry again. He's fine to assist you for that time. Maybe 2 weeks.
What was the location you...
One of my other followers could likely get one.
What was the location last seen art is in?
You feel a map appear in your brain.
This is
You suddenly know where it's at. You couldn't say it in words. You feel, all of you
What's the
actually
image?
feel.
Okay.
All of you feel basically exactly how to get to an entrance. If you go through the woods, make sure that you go, like, if you go to the woods, feel this. If you go past this tree, there's going to be a lot of hanging moss, and behind there's a stone door. In the stone door, you'll be able to find art. And you recognize the stone door. You feel like you've been there before, but you haven't.
That's not what deja
You all feel that way.
It will be
my,
once I'm there.
my character doesn't know that's not what deja vu is. It's fine.
You all feel that way, like you've been there
I'm having a
before, but you
premonition
can't
like I've had
remember
this
being
premonition.
Yeah, I feel like I've had this premonition before.
Because somehow I recognize this thing knowing I've never been there. But
It's okay.
I've clearly felt this premonition before or something.
You are aware that it is not very far from the town. It's max 2 days.
Same
unless you
direction
have
you
a
just
bad day.
came back from?
No, this is
Okay.
more along the coast.
Ooh.
So if you go through the forest, the cliff actually, or it's near a cliff. You get that feeling. Get to the cliff, you've gone past the stone door.
That was weird.
So, would you like to assist, or should I keep these? I'm fine with either.
We got some time to kill.
I mean, I'd prefer to spend as much time as possible preparing. For
You're right.
But
In Clifford's head, or in Clifford's voice, you all hear, understandable.
I do say, on the other hand, it would probably help if our friend's spirits were lifted before we called on him to life.
I
For
do
our
have
sake.
some influence in town. What are you attempting to do?
We're trying to steal something valuable from the church.
There's a long pause. The artifact?
All of the art.
There's only one artifact here.
Yes.
Well, yes, but it's the first of a few projects. By the way, Cirrus has decided that this entity obviously has access to our minds, and it does not. It's not like he's just not going to lie to this guy at all. By the way,
Meta knowledge here.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's Cirrus's
that's fair.
decision.
I'm more.
I can assist with that. I have 3 thralls in church.
Ooh,
What?
So, if we bring you some real good art, you willing to assist?
What?
Real good art.
Okay.
This confirmed it.
2 acolytes and 1 soldier, to be specific.
Now that sounds like 3 believers. Me.
do they count as believers when they've been enthralled by another being?
Do your acolytes still have power? Do you know?
Faith
From
powers.
from Antalion.
Should we be saying that name? I don't know how that works. My character doesn't know either, so
Yeah.
it's a special. It doesn't matter. My character doesn't know enough to doubt that.
I can cause them to have access to their previous powers.
Sounds like believers to me.
Good enough, I'm sure.
We're gonna get you some nice art.
The soldier's not particularly endowed with any powers, except his amulet.
Good enough for
I
me. I
think-
hope.
That counts.
I hope.
Yeah.
I can.
For payment for services of both the paintings and the thralls, I would need 2 arts.
That were reasonably good.
As
Presume-
many as possible, and I may be able to give more assistance.
You know. I'll do what I
Okay.
can.
Is there an art gallery in this town? No.
Think-
Lost art.
Oh, specifically you want lost
You
art.
feel that strongly in your head.
Okay.
So nothing from the Greylock estate.
Yes. The Ink Master? No.
I am more than willing to go find some lost art.
I'm
Sounds-
100% down. As Paxton. Also serious.
Whitney, 100% down. Talia, she's got some reservations.
My reservations are more like coming back to visit this guy in person.
Yeah.
But
I guess I think we can do that.
Perfect. I will await your return.
um,
Do you wish assistance? My knight is available.
do you know if there's anything in the cave that we need to fight?
At least
At least 2 anythings.
unknown what the enemy is. At least 2 entities are in there.
Now the question is, if the knight dies, is that a problem?
Yes.
Okay.
I would need a replacement.
No, I think if he stays might be better.
You guys were worried about the hand I've got in my bag. I'm worried about replacing a human meal.
I mean, that is a larger concern, yes.
We're gonna
I'm also
we're gonna take
concerned.
a break for a minute.
Cirrus
here.
is more concerned about how icky, like, corpses are.
All right, and we're back. So yeah, he said, if you guys get me more than the 2 art pieces, there may be more to offer.
We'll see what's hidden in the location.
It nods.
See what we can.
Need anything else? Any other questions? He gestures and points over towards a wall where there's a couple different things and says, proof of pictures are over there.
Oh.
And you see them.
Oh, a good thing to ask.
Yeah.
I'm a man who knows my art.
Well, pleasure working with you, Master. Hopefully we return safely soon.
Oh, yes. Be safely. He nods and he says, Knight, escort them out. And the knight does exactly
escorts us
that.
out.
He stops at the same door, the opposite door last time, has the key in and like pauses, and then turns to you and says the same spiel he said last time.
No complaints this time.
Opens it, the whole spiel. You guys go through the sewer. Well, first you guys go through the caverns, then the sewer, and he takes you out of the warehouse trapdoors again. And he says, the timing is always the same. Use that same paper, 12 o'clock midnight here, I will be here. If you are here, I will escort you.
All right.
Thank you, Knight.
Okay.
You are welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good luck keeping your skull intact. I don't know. Have a good night, or what, or something. I don't know. I'm conflicted, guys.
Tell your master thank you for this opportunity and for his help. We'll be back shortly.
I will let him know. And he opens them and goes in.
Mm. Any allies against the oppressive forces arrayed against us are allies that I'm willing to accept. Well, almost any ally.
No,
Pretty much any ally.
I would be intrigued to see these as my allies. Okay.
I'm just happy that thing is like a relatively harmless art collector. I mean, he's not harmless. He's obviously eating people. Something. But like, I don't know.
I've never even heard of something like that before.
No thoughts, head empty.
Hey.
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard of them either, Mrs. Bird. Perfect. Alright, so from there, you guys start walking back towards where you guys are staying. You get through the first Octant. You guys get into the getting into Octant 8 on your Octant 8's where you guys are staying.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into Octant 8, Paxton, while you're walking in, Cirrus, you see 2 guards are standing by a brazier.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is the elf that you'd seen earlier. At this point in the firelight, definitely recognize this man from your past.
Oh, I think Cirrus just stops dead in the street.
Yeah, I'm definitely like 5 steps ahead and like.
And
Cirrus?
just like goes quiet.
Yeah.
And Cirrus is just staring at this guard, and you see smoky blackness coming out of his sleeve and forming into something long and sharp.
I come to Sirius and I kind of like step in front of him, like in his line of sight. I'm like, not time.
If I notice that he's eyeing a guard, my hand rests on the hilt of my dagger.
The guard takes notice of someone staring at him.
Yeah.
And starts walking in your direction.
Not that you notice, but like I repeat like the oath I made to you that night when you woke up. Like I will like fight your monsters, and like I'm just like my fist is clenched around the hilt of my dagger.
So Talia, it's up to you to either talk us down or
I'm definitely in
or
disguise
help us
still.
mob this guy.
Yes, I remember my promise, but now is not the time.
Mob.
After the job.
There are bigger
We can
fish.
do
There are bigger fish. I think I dismiss the mind blade like right before he comes into angle where he could see it.
Is there a problem here?
I think I just had too much to drink there. Do you remember where we're staying?
I'm helpless.
I remember. It's okay.
I'll leave them in your hands, miss.
I've got them.
I like
We are good.
pull out a copper piece and like try to give it to him. Thank you for your service, sir.
No coin needed. I receive a pay, and he walks away.
As he turns around, my face instantly stone cold.
I take a stumble to my walk now.
I now walk with one of my arms in each of my hands.
You guys are
Really?
going to get back to the tavern. To the primary inn, I mean. And I think that we'll probably just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got enough hooks for.
There's hooks.
If
Yes.
if Merrick is still there with his door open,
It looks like he is.
I would mention, it's not like on our way in, that we may have somebody who can help us with the teleportation circle.
And are
on
you
the
saying it just
inside.
like that?
We've
Just making sure. Like, is that the amount of information you're giving him?
I can give more details
I-
as they
Yeah.
go to sleep.
When you say
I'm wanting to know
I
if you're
think
planning.
Siri says something more like.
I'm wondering how much you're planning on telling him. I guess is more.
I mean,
How much?
if he's gonna ask questions, I'll give more information, but that's all I'm gonna say.
I think that at this point he basically just accepts and hears what you said and is like, perfect, sounds great. I'll mark that down and just like that, like puts it into the collection of
We
information.
just have to
he's
run
getting.
another errand for a couple of days to get their help.
He looks at you and says, "Well, that might be perfect. You'll get back maybe right around when the high priest of the circle is gone."
Yes.
He nods and says, "Okay, I'll plan to see you then."
Okay. We'll be leaving maybe sometime.
Nods, and then he gets back to organizing notes. Like this is, anyway. Yeah, he gets back to organizing notes and like writing down what you see him write down the information you just told him and putting it into a certain stack, and then like getting back to other stuff. But we'll go ahead and we'll end there. Thank you everyone for watching in the future, since I'm sure it's not live, because I can see how many people are watching live. You.
Anyway.
Anyway, we'll see y'all. Bye.